Hello everyone, and by everyone, I mean maybe the two people I send this link and my friend who I'm helping out with the birthday party. I am planning on doing a few videos to showcase the collection and to be able to talk about my endless growing collection of Nerf. But I thought in the meantime, while I was working on that, I would maybe do a quick video on a birthday party loadout, helping my friend this weekend with a birthday. Some simple games, and I thought I would just go over the types of blasters that I'm using for the party and why, to keep it simple. Just really quick, because a lot of people don't know and I love talking about it. I'm just going to run through the different types of ammo that there are, because there's probably a lot more than people realize. There are missiles, which don't go very fast, but have their use in some games. There are arrows. These are fired out of a Zombie Strike crossfire thing. I actually just picked it up off Facebook Marketplace today. There are different balls. There are Rival, which is my favorite. There are discs. There are mega darts. And then there are all kinds of regular darts and short darts for performance players. I am going for the party. I'm going with more regular darts. The reason why, this is a birthday party for 8 to 10-year-olds. These types of darts out of most blasters fire around 70 feet per second. So that's a really good, amount for, you know, if kids aren't super used to getting shot at, they don't hurt very much. It's a nice friendly speed. So these pretty much all fire these. I do have a couple mega blasters in the mix because they are fun, because they're like firing little mini hot dogs at people. They hit a little bit slower than the regular darts, but they're bigger and fun. So just kind of going through, you know, if you're doing a birthday party for kids around that age or older, or even a party with adults, these one, the Nerf Disruptor and the Nerf Strongarm, which are very similar. The Strongarm has kind of a neat little side loading mechanic to it, but they're basically very similar blasters. They can be thrifted really easily. I've thrifted a bunch of them from a few different places for only a few bucks each, and it's enough that everyone can have one of these as a regular sidearm. They're super dependable. They don't use clips, which is nice. You're not messing around with different ammo clips and a whole lot of batteries for a party where you're going to have 10 kids playing. So these are really good. These are going to be kind of the main ones for the party. As I mentioned, I have these mega blasters as well. This is the Cycloneshock. This is the Magnus. This has an inline clip that fires 3. This one has a cylinder with 6. Inline clip just means you load them through the top, and it's not an external clip. Again, saving that extra hassle of having to have a bunch of these, having them potentially break, etc. So those for pistols. A couple of these smaller ones, you put 4 in the front, prime it and shoot, and they fire one after the other. So a great little one for people to carry around. The Hammershot also takes darts as well. This one is neat because a kid could hold 2 of them. You prime it by pulling back like that and firing. A really neat one. Looks great. This one gets modded quite a bit by people and used a lot in cosplay. This one I thought would be a fun one. You load up 3 darts in this shell. You put the shell in the front of this break open action, and this can be fired kind of shotgun style down the field. And speaking of shotguns, this one is really fun. Holds 8. It fires them 2 at a time. So this one is also fun. You don't have to be as accurate. It fires almost as fast as the pistols. A little lesson in there when I picked this one up, it was already primed. Prime means the spring is compressed and ready to go. You should never ever leave your blasters primed like that. It's really bad for them. That's the reason why if you go to Value Village and you pick up used ones, a lot of times they're garbage with the spring that's in them, because they've been put on a shelf like this and they've sat there forever, and the spring over time just loses its power. I also have a couple of these, which are fun. These are Nerf Elite 2.0, a series that is actually kind of garbage, but I got these in a lot of a bunch of blasters. And you know what? They don't fire super accurately, but they hold a bunch, so they're fun for if a couple kids want to be the ones who kind of are more aggressive and run down the field and have more ammo built in. And then last but not least, I had said that I wasn't going to have anything with clips. I am going to take a couple of these. This is a flywheel blaster, which means you rev it up first, and then you press the trigger, and it will fire out a dart. So this one is super fun. This will be kind of the sniper option for kids at the back of the field when we're playing a few games. Simple games, young ages, kids don't have huge attention spans. We'll probably just have some team deathmatch. I'm thinking some humans versus zombies where as players are tagged, they become zombies and then they can't use weapons anymore. They have to actually physically tag people to get out, and the survivors kind of slowly get overwhelmed. That one's fun and simple to play. And then I think because it's a birthday party with parents, I might do a bit of a hostage situation where one group has to protect one of the parents and kind of guide them from one spot to another while soaking up any damage and letting them not get hit. And then other than that, for the party, my plan is to have a little bit of a shooting gallery so that kids can actually try out the few blasters I have that are not something that I would want a kid to run around a field with because they're either expensive or I had to build them and put them together. I have I would love to do a whole video on this sometime. The Nerf rival Jupiter. This is a 3D printed blaster by Out of Darts. And it's hooked up to a Proton Pack, also from Out of Darts. It runs on a LiPo battery, which is commonly used for RCs and drones. And you rev that little handgun up, you put the hand blaster up, you put the Proton Pack in a backpack, and you can fire up to 500, almost 500 rounds of the Nerf rival balls at 100 feet per second, 20 to 30 of them per second. So that's really fun to do a little gallery for the kids to maybe win some prizes, maybe do kind of the Nerf version of a dunk tank where we get a parent in there and spray them down with the Jupiter. That's a fun one to use, and there's not a lot of those in this area in New Brunswick, Canada. And then the other one I have over there, you can just see the tip of it, the Caliburn, which is an all 3D printed blaster. I've got the hardware kit from Captain Slug off of Etsy and printed all the parts here and put that together. And right now, that is a blaster that shoots about 200 feet per second. So not super great for younger kids, but very, very fun for target practice and firing. A child couldn't actually prime the spring on that by themselves, but for shooting at some targets, I think that would be pretty fun. So yeah, so that's what we'll be doing. Again, we'll be using kind of regular Nerf darts. That's kind of the safer thing for kids in that age range. We will be using some Mega as well, and it should be really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I have some barricades made out of pallets, some inflatables. So we're going to set up quite a little battlefield. So it should be really fun, and I'll try to get a couple pictures to share of that afterwards. So yeah, so just a little overview of a birthday party loadout for some 8 to 10-year-olds. Hey, I'm back. I'm just going to cut in for a second. I talked about the Caliburn and I talked about the Jupiter from Out of Darts. I'm just going to do a little quick closer look at those since I did talk about them. This is the 3D printed blaster. It takes magazines. I just have a short little magazine here. It can fire regular darts or short darts. It is very stiff to prime and shoots very hard. So that's kind of a quick overview of that. And then we have the Jupiter. This is the Jupiter with the Proton Pack. We have this container with almost 500 rival balls in here. It's a flywheel blaster, which means we rev it up. When we rev it up, there's an agitator that spins around in here, and there's a fan in here that pushes darts all up through here. And then we can fire rival balls and make a huge mess really, really quickly. But I also think this would be super fun for kids to try out. So I'm definitely going to take this with me.